right. Peace. Abargani, Islam, Salam, Hetepu, Rahubat, Gino Lakuni Nani, Chief Noble Bandele, Elamin, back in the building. And today I'm going to be talking about a subject that has a lot to do, I have a lot of heart in this. So we're going to discuss the Black Boule in politics and beyond. All right. We're going to talk about how the Boule controls politics, and we're going to make it a connection to even the election. All right. So before we get into any of this ain't for the lighthearted. We're going to be talking about these secret societies, right? So before we get into that, though, please like this video. Smash the like button. Please subscribe. Share this video to anyone and everyone. All right. So before we get into it, I'm going to hit you with an ad. All right.
Oh, if they just let me see, or it just on me, it's showing me the light. Once they set us free, knowledge is the key. Guiding in me, all right, and that feel right.
All right. So now we back, man. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about the Boule. We're going to talk about secret societies, the Boule, how this ties in. It ties into Masonry, Freemasonry, Prince Hall Masonry, things of that nature. So the book I have up here dealing with Wake Up Africa, which is a book I wrote. Check this book out. This book plays into what we're going to be discussing tonight, okay? So wake up. We got to wake up anyway. We got to wake up and free the car. All right? Wake up. Whether you believe you from here or from the motherland or from America, right? We got to wake up. And this book does drop those jewels in it, all right? So I just wanted to put that on the screen. So let's get into this tonight. We're going to be discussing the Boule. We're going to talk about what the Boule is and how it relates to regular melanated people, how it controls the community, things of that nature, all right? So, let's get into this. What I want to do is show you a video. Let's look at, I want to talk about this, and also I want to talk about, shout out to Steve Coakley, all right? R.I.P. to Steve Coakley. Ashe to Steve Coakley, because this brother was one of the brothers who I really learned from. I actually met Steve Coakley through a brother Peter. Shout out to Peter Slaughter up in the building, but I met him through him, right? And when you check out his material, you'll see what I mean. So I want to start this off so you guys can get a kind of an understanding of the Black Boule. All right, so let's check it out.
Malik Exo
Through
Studios.
his thorough research, Coakley had discovered something astounding, which he determined was a worldwide conspiracy of white supremacists and Zionist powers waging a war on Africans aiming for genocide. Shortly after Coakley was fired from his position, he would soon discover records of the Sigma Pi Phi fraternity.
All right. Y'all remember Sigma Phi Pi fraternity. All right. I'm not going to keep stopping, but check it.
Also known as the Boule. And he began what became a lifelong mission of exposing this elitist black group as a secret society with suspicious origins, modeled closely after the Skull of Bones fraternity. He claimed these members took a sacred pledge to serve as a vanguard for white supremacy, and in return, they'd rule over the confused black masses by steering them away from true black revolution. Coakley was politically forced underground.
All right, I gotta stop that. All right, you hear what he said though, right? He said that it was to keep them from real black revolution. Now, I just want to say that how to me it relates to, you know, right now, like this election, how they try to focus us on, you know, these type of issues, but does it keep us from actual revolution? All right. So, all right.
For spreading this sacred information and will begin giving grassroots lectures to black audience across the nation, bringing its fairy theories right to the people, such as accusing Jesse Jackson of helping murder Dr. Martin Luther King and constantly putting the Jewish community on trial as an anti-black institution who was responsible for such things as chemical warfare against Africans with the AIDS virus, amongst other things. Calling out organizations like the CIA, the FBI, FEMA, the United Way, the ADL, etc., for illegally spying amongst the black community. He deemed Nelson Mandela and other African leaders as sellout traitors working for white supremacist forces to further oppress the African masses. He condemned the U.S. government and black conspirators for their involvement in many assassinations, including those of Malcolm X, Dr. King, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Patrice Lumumba, Harold Washington, Fred Hampton, and many others. Coke held no punches, stirring controversy wherever he spoke. He eventually began to also scrutinize black organizations and question their true intentions, such as the NAACP, the National Urban League, Rainbow Push Coalition, black colleges and fraternities, the new Black Panther Party, and yes, even the Nation of Islam under Minister Farrakhan wasn't exempt from the wrath of Coakley, steady flow of accountability which he placed on any black leader who seemed to be straying away from true black liberation and revolution.
Man, I'm telling you, brother, the brother was heavy, right? And this is what I feel like we got to do today. We have to scrutinize everything. We have to scrutinize all these different organizations that claim to be for the benefit of us. All right. So I want to show you one more video, then I'm gonna get into this, right? Get into this. I wouldn't be right if I didn't show you some Bobby Hemmett on the Boule. I'm just trying to bring it home, right?
The meeting that goes on in Atlanta every year, and the big time dignitaries, college presidents, corporate CEOs, all of the great people that you would think of that has made it in this society that's exclusive, that the ones that the government approve, the ones that you see on all these TV shows and different things like that. She said there's bank presidents, any kind of top-notch Negro, they say that these people, they fly into Atlanta, men, and they have this great day in Atlanta every weekend, every year, a great day annually, and they fly in and they fuck each other.
Ooh.
You see, so this thing is going even beyond the Boule. It's although a lot of these members and a lot of this stuff was chartered by the Boule, there's all these people and they go in and they fuck each other. These great so-called powerful black men. And so we're talking about an elite society, not just even in the secret society of the Boule, but your political society.
Are you talking about the gay Boule or the gay black political scene?
We talking about the gay Boule, okay, which would be the catalyst. The gay black political scene. You see what I'm saying? Whereas some of your congressmen is gay, like John Lewis. You know, he's there. He's always pleading our case, always hugging up white people. He's gay. You see what I'm saying? So we got these types of things that's going on. Like, take for instance,
all right, y'all. Take that in, right? This video with Bobby Hemmett, and by the way, I don't even know if Bobby Hemmett is still alive or not, but wherever his spirit is, give him thanks and praise. But, this is an older video, and this is so relevant to now. These things have not changed in 20, 30, 50 years, right? So the Boule been around for a minute. We're going to get into that, right? We're going to get into all that, right? I just wanted to hit y'all off with some of those people and things of that nature, right? I wanted to make sure that you guys got a got a true understanding. So what I want to do now is I want to read to you a couple of things. I got a couple articles that will express more about the Boule, because like I said, the Boule, y'all don't understand the Boule. Y'all probably haven't heard of the Boule. Now I know some of my brothers have, and shout out to Abdullah Bey, because he's even got a book. Check his book out, dealing with masonry. So I mean, like brothers like him and them understand the Boule and understand the secret societies. Understand that the Boule is a secret society. Okay, let me see if I can click this stuff off right here. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get in. So this right here is talking about fact check. So we're talking about, is there a black secret society of elites called the Boule? Because the Boule are the elite. Okay, make no mistake about it. I'm gonna put up here on the screen. Let me make sure we get this going. Let me put this on the screen. We're gonna get it cracking. All right. So let's go. So what is it called? Elites called Boule. Okay. So it's saying if you ever heard of Boule, that's probably because of its design. So if you haven't heard of the Boule is the secret society. Even though it's public now, but how many of y'all really know what the Boule is? How many of y'all heard of it? Most of the people I know have not heard of the Boule. So it says that the Boule, officially known as Pi Phi, Sigma Pi Phi, is the Boule was founded in Philadelphia, okay, in 1904 by, these are important names, so y'all can go and look and do your own research. Dr. Henry McKee Mitten and 5 of his colleagues. They were groups of doctors, dentists, and pharmacists. So I'm going to stop there real quick, because let me ask you, when next time you go to your doctor or your dentist, right, people that have some kind of prestige in the community, ask them if they have joined a fraternity. Just ask them. I mean, you ain't got to go into the Boule per se, but just ask them if they are fraternity or sorority. All right. So it says that it's the nation's first Black, Greek organization. I always thought this was an oxymoron, even though I understand that Greek people were dark or black at some point. But the way that Greek is presented and how Greek is symbolized in the world, particularly in this country, when we talk about Greek, they are talking about what you so-called whites or Albions, okay? They're not talking about so-called melanated people, or what you call black, right? They're not talking about them. They're talking about what they consider as white. So when we talk about Greek in this perspective, we're talking about so-called white organizations. They're not talking about historically Greeks being melanated people at one point. So check. All right. So it's saying before being exposed to the general public by various individuals in the 1990 and 2000, like I said, shout out to Steve Coakley and Bobby Hemmett. It says that the Boule was on par with what white organizations like Skull and Bones. People knew they existed, but couldn't really prove it. Okay, so a lot of people didn't really realize that this was a real organization, just like the Skull and Bones. The Skull and Bones is a real organization. We don't have time to get into the Skull and Bones, but I will have a video about the Skull and Bones and the what they call it, the Book and Snake. Okay, but I'm not gonna go there. But so the Black Boule is, to me, the equivalent to Skull and Bones. the melanated version. So it says meaning council of chiefs or advisors to kings. So who are they advising to? They're advisors to kings. Who are the kings, right? Kings are the white organizations. I would say personally, they are advisors to Skull and Bones. All right. So it says in Greek, the Boule was much for its existence in the elite. It says invitation only, secret society for black men of high regard. They only wanted the top dogs, okay? They only wanted the top people, what we call the talented 10th, all right? So what they're talking about is the smart Negroes, all right? That's what they wanted. So it's saying that it is considered the father of the Black Greek letter organizations that make up the Divine Nine. So I want you to understand something because I'm gonna try to find the video. I wish I pulled this video up, but you got the vice president Kamala Harris talking about the Divine Nine, the Divine Nine. All right. So I just wanted you to peep game. All right. Talking about the Divine Nine. So it is the father of the Divine Nine. 9 is a number of what? Completion. It's the last number, right? So it's saying, look, it's the Alpha Phi Alpha. It's the Kappa Alpha Psi. It's the Omega Psi Phi, right? The Phi Beta Sigma, right? All of them. Look at them. These are all of your Black Greek organizations that you guys join, that you guys put a lot of emphasis on, right? The Boule or the father. Now, I know that the ones who are already in fraternity sororities, y'all probably know this. For the most part, I'm pretty sure. But to us average, regular people, this is a secret society. Now, it says right here in a 2011 interview, a political researcher and speaker, Steve Coakley, called the Boule, listen, an illegal criminal enterprise full of Black complicity in this centralization of worldwide power and new world order. All right. So I want you to understand what I'm saying. If y'all understand what new world order is, right? Y'all do know what new world order is, right? The new world order is, a group of elites are wanting to control the world under new world order. You've heard this term before, maybe, but you didn't probably know that the Boule were part of that. So it says that Coakley accused the Boule of being in cahoots with white power structures, all right, to keep wealth and power limited to a very small part of the population. They are the gatekeepers. Understand that. They are associated with the gatekeeping. So when you find out, like when you guys begin to look at who is part of the Boule, you'll begin to understand. I hope you understand better, because a lot of people out here is, all shook up about Trump versus Kamala and this and that, without taking any consideration that there are people in higher positions that are dictating what's going on the planet. The Boule have a higher stake and claim than your regular so-called Black people or melanated people. Now it says here in page 28 of the first Boule history book, it is noted that it wanted to be like Skull and Bones at Yale. Coakley says those societies and the Boule tend to make up an aristocracy. In the terms of deputizing 10% of the population to assure that the 90% never catch on. Now, this ain't even like when we talk about the 85%. You got the 5%, you got the 85%, you got the 5%, you got the 10%, right? Right? So check this. When we talk about the 10%, you got 5%, the 5% nation. You got the 5% that are the true living, know the truth and trying to teach and preach to the people. But you got the 10% who are trying to stifle, right, the 85%, which is the rest of them. So, I know they say 90%, but that 90% take out 5% for the 5% Nation of Islam or 5% of the gods on earth who are trying to teach the truth. Okay? Now, I'm not a 5%er, but you understand what I'm saying. Okay? So it says in a 1990 interview with the Los Angeles Times, then incoming Boule president Dr. Benjamin Major told reporters Karen Gibsby Gates that initially the organization was committed to maintaining its exclusivity. All right. So it has a purpose that you guys have to address and notice. All right. The Boule is not to be played with. They are a very well-groomed society that's been around for over a century that stays in the shadows. Okay. So I hope you guys stay with me. Stay with me. Let's look at this a little bit further. Okay. Because I want you to look at what's the Sigma Pi Phi. Okay. This is Wikipedia. So this is not just something that is being made up. Now, a note. I just want to take a note. Let's look at the symbol. This is the symbol. This is on my pictures. Look at the symbol. I just want to say, don't this symbol look similar to what's on LeBron James' chest? Y'all go look at. I took a video. Y'all look at my video on TikTok, right? I'm not even gonna play it, but y'all go look me up. Y'all look up Bandele Elamine on TikTok and tell me that this picture is not LeBron. It's not tattered on LeBron James' chest. Y'all tell me that. Okay. So let's look at the founders. Okay, because we already talked about all this. The founders, right? Robert J. Abel graduated at the top of his class, 1895. Okay, medical school, earned the highest score ever awarded. Smart dude. So you got a doctor, medical person. You got another Eugene Henson, a medical doctor, right? You got Edwin C. J.T. Howard, practicing medicine. These brothers is all, look, a surgeon, a pharmacist. This is the main guy, Henry McKee Minton. He's like one of the main, but he's a pharmacist and doctor. Okay, so all these guys pretty much were doctors. Doctors. Okay, it says that Sigma Pi Phi quickly established chapters in Chicago, Illinois, Baltimore, Maryland. Founded as an organization of professionals, Sigma Pi Phi never established a collegiate chapters and eliminated undergraduate membership during its infant stages. But however, Sigma Pi Phi has historically had a congenial relationship with intercollegiate Black Greek letter organizations. As members of the Sigma Pi Phi are members of both. I can't drive this home any harder. Now, this is not to say that all the brothers and the sisters that are in these organizations are bad people, or that they fully even if they even look at it this way. Okay, I think like most of the time they look at it as a prestigious thing, right? Oh, I'm part of the Talented 10th, or I'm part of sororities that were founded by the Black Talented 10th. So many people was like, oh, this what's wrong with the Boule? We mean like what's wrong with them? Like they're upright, so-called black people, right? But they are moving in secret society. Okay, the membership is highly exclusive. Listen to this: Sigma Pi Phi is open to members of all races. Very important to know. Very important to know, because your vice president. Okay. So, with that being said, let's get into the vice president. Because you're like, oh, why are you talking that smack about her and this and that? What does she got to do with this? Yada, 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 right? All right. Okay, let's look at this, right? Politico. Y'all know Politico. Listen to this. We just talked about this earlier. It says, no, Harris, as in Kamala Harris, taps black sorority and fraternity members for political power. Hear me? If y'all hear me, like this video, subscribe. You understand what I'm saying? Like this video and subscribe. So let's get into this. Y'all, let's get into this. So Harris taps black sorority and fraternity family for what? Political power. Political power. The Boule have political power. Okay? Look at what they talk about. Look at her. Look at this. Just want you to look at this. Look at the symbolism of these things, right? You got the stars, but you got the torches. Now, I'm not going to get all deep into it, but we know torches deal with illumination, right? We know it deals with illumination. So when we talk about illumination, we're talking about enlightenment, Illuminati. These are what we call a Lucifer. Okay, a Lucifer, meaning a light bearer. So these organizations are connected to light bearer, to illumination, a light bearer, a Lucifer. Y'all check out my video with Abdullah to understand that part, okay? Check out the last video I did with Abdullah on our page. So let's check it out. It says that Vice President Kamala Harris rallied members of who? The Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Inc. on Wednesday, urging some of the staunchest supporters to make history in one of her first events as a Democratic all but assumed nominee, and underscoring her connection with the critical voting bloc, a voting bloc. Y'all check out, because y'all don't vote. Y'all don't vote voting bloc. Y'all just go out there and vote. Y'all just go out there and vote. Well, these power elites are doing it in voting blocks. Now, I just soak it in. Soak it in. All right. Now, we just talked about the Divine Nine. If y'all was watching, go back to just a few minutes ago. We talked about the Divine Nine is part of the Boule. We said it already. So it says that her rousing speech. Let me make sure this is big enough, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me make sure this is big enough for y'all to see. All right. Look. So it said that her rousing speech amounted to hometown reception. Harris is a member of the AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority since her days at Howard University. Understand Howard University. She is a sorority sister at Howard, which is part of the Divine Nine, a group that represents historically black sororities and fraternities. It's a ready-made coalition of supporters who the vice president called on to energize and to organize and to mobilize against former President Trump. So what she was doing was she was trying to rally the Boule. Okay? She's trying to rally the Boule to assist her in defeating Donald Trump, President Trump. Okay. Now, what I want you to understand is when Kamala first was selected as the Democratic nominee, who you think was the first people who, gave her money? Where'd she get all this money from? She got money from the sororities. Okay? She got money from the Boule. They gave her money. Okay? Now listen, after Harris' ascension to the party apparent standard bearer, the Divine Nine presidents collectively put out a statement promising to meet this critical moment in history with an unprecedented voter registration, education, and mobilization coordinated campaign. So, that right there is letting you know who was in charge of helping Kamala to get people to vote. The Divine Nine were the primary people that helped her do her campaign. Okay? I just want you to see this. Okay, it says Harris' appearance at the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Inc. Look, right here. Grand Boule. Grand Boule. The group's annual national gathering underscores her connection to Black voters and her effort to push them to the polls in November. During her 2020 presidential campaigns, both in the primary and as Biden's running mate, she leaned on her sisters from the AKA and the broader community. She says, family is my beloved Alpha Kappa Alpha, our Divine Nine. That's what she said. So at my HBCU brothers and sisters, she said during her convention speech in 2020. Given her apparent new role at the top of the ticket, Harris' campaign is now arguing that she can shore up the party's coalition, particularly among voters of color. So what I'm saying to you is, when I say that the Boule are gatekeepers, I mean it. The Boule are the gatekeepers. They're the ones that push our people out here in this campaign to vote for her. They are the gatekeepers. They are the ones who try to control what's going on. Tell me if I'm lying. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all put it in the chat if I'm lying. I'm just trying to break some stuff down to you. Right? Right? So let's look at it. Look at it. I'm gonna put this up here too, though. Look. So look, y'all can see who the members are. These are members of the Boule, right? See, this is the secret hand. This is the secret hand that is moving the community. We wonder why things are happening the way they are. We wonder where it's coming from. If they're the gatekeepers, then they go to the gatekeepers to push whatever agenda they're trying to push. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, y'all. Let's just keep it a buck. All right. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna show you another video real quick, right? I want to show you this just to bring it home, because I'm not the one. We got the Hood Apostle. Shout out to the Hood Apostle for this video, right?
The Boule is formed by the Greek This is the reason why Jesse ain't done nothing. Al ain't done nothing. These are 33rd degree Freemasons. How they gonna do something when they are in position to manage you? It's the Black Greek fraternities, and these that was formed in Howard University, and a lot of those famous black universities. It's also part of the Prince Hall Masons and the Elks. These are the secret societies in the hood that you don't even know that they here. And let me bless you for real. The real power of this is in the church. See, a lot of these preachers are in these secret societies, and that's why they can't preach anything. Their job is not to enlighten you. Their job is to house you. It is to pacify you. It is to give you a good feeling about your suffering, but never cause you to say there is a reason behind this. These are your councilmen and your aldermen. And the Boule is formed.
Yeah, these are your councilmen, the aldermen. These are your politicians. These are your judges. These are, no doubt, your doctors, your lawyers. These are the people. And so we think it's all cool and, we think it's all cool and fun when we out here doing our stepping, right? The brothers stepping and the sisters doing they sound, when we were like, I went to college and I often would say, why I didn't join. I had people ask me why I wouldn't join any fraternity. And I would often quote an X-Clan verse saying, and y'all can agree or not about what I'm about to say, but I would say, I am an African, I don't wear Greek. Must I be reminded of a legendary thief? Right? So, as a youth, being in young 20s, 19, 20, 21, whatever, being in college, back then, I didn't understand, like, why would melanated people, what we call them melanated people today, if y'all want to be indigenous, African or indigenous people of the land, why would we join a Greek fraternity knowing that the Greek fraternity stood for the white establishment? And like I said, as I got older and I got to understanding and reading on the Boule, I got to looking at the power structure, for example, the Boule, when we talk about W.E.D. Du Bois, right? Him and Marcus Garvey they got into it a lot. Marcus Garvey not being Boule, and W.E. Du Bois he Boule. And it's interesting that him being a Boule would constantly try to destroy and dismantle what Marcus Garvey was talking about and try to promote the education agenda. So when we see people today like Roland Martin and all these people who, like Joy Reid and all that, like these people to me symbolize Boule. Either they part of it or they're not. So my thing is for us is to look, to do our research, to do our due diligence, and look at the people that are in front of our face. Let's look at the brothers and sisters who's running for particular offices and things of that nature, right? I give you an example because you got to understand, like the Boule being a secret society have a relationship with what we call Prince Hall Masons, things of that nature. Like the brother made in this video. I was working at a store, health food store, as a matter of fact, and the mayor of the city, the ex-mayor of Dayton came into the store. Now, this is when I was studying like secret societies. I had studied on Illuminati and things of that nature. So when he came in, I saw him with a ring on. He had like a Masonic ring. He had the square and compass with the G in it. And I said, "Oh, you a traveling man?" And he said, yes. Now, this was the ex-mayor of the city of Dayton. So he was like, oh, you're a traveling man? He went to grab my hand. And as he was doing it, he was looking for the secret handshake. Now, at the time, I didn't know the secret handshake, right? But so I shook his hand and he looked at me and he said, oh, you don't know shit. And he walked off. So our people are in positions that govern us. I just want y'all to understand that. The fraternities, the Boule, secret societies, these people are holding certain positions in our society, in our communities, that we have no idea. And it was played out on the biggest stage for the past several months through the vice president. Now, she ain't the only one. And I'm not here to like judge her or get on her. I'm just making this aware to us that there are organizations and societies that we need to understand and research. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the gist of this conversation. I hope you guys understand it. Please like, comment on the video, and share this video if you guys really want to improve our understanding. So I appreciate you guys, and peace and love.